Okay, we're streaming. Starting now.
Woo!
Oh, I need my controller.
Welcome to it, motherfuckers.
Welcome to Elden Ring. Dun 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 dun.
Dun-dum, bum, 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 bum.
I gotta restart Elden Ring. So hold on, that wasn't it.
Okay, cool.
That wasn't it. Yeah, it's I love the plug and play.
that sounds like the Elden Ring experience a lot of people have been
Oh,
having.
I have not had any issues. I don't know.
Me neither. But I have also barely played it.
Yeah, and I've barely played it more than you've barely played it.
Yeah. You've done 2 streams and that's all you've played, right?
Yeah, I've done I did an hour in between those streams of killing guys, like normal guys, but that's it. So yeah, 2 streams plus about an hour.
And I'm like where you were at after the first stream.
Okay. And you were there from before that stream. You got there, then we got there with me streaming, and then you haven't played since.
Right.
Okay.
That's an excellent summary.
Everyone, we're live on Twitch with Elden Ring. The patented run button, tweet about the stream on the stream.
Yeah. But I've heard enough other people that are more popular than us do it that I'm like, it's normal. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, not only is it normal, it is once again an extremely popular trend that we definitely started, and definitely don't get any credit for.
That's right.
Don't ask us to prove that we started it.
Yep.
But I'll ask, who else would have started that?
What I'll say is, if you were there from the beginning like we were, you would have seen us start it.
Right, yeah. How come you weren't watching Run Button from the beginning, where you would see us start that?
Exactly. Yeah.
I turned down Elden Ring is way too loud. And Kylie, can I get an audio test from you?
I feel like I've already been giving you.
Okay, yeah, but I just wasn't looking. So now we're good, and everything's good, and we're good.
And I just finished the thumbnail for the final episode of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Nice.
Our Let's Play of it.
Did you see
this Pixlr thing is pretty hot.
Yeah, Pixlr's great, right? I told Kylie about Pixlr recently. Pixlr is the free, the free Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean it's just Photoshop, but it doesn't. It's I was gonna say it's like Photoshop, but it's free. But honestly, it's like Photoshop, but you don't have to pirate it to use it.
Right, and it's in browser too.
And it's in browser.
I'm sure that there's people who
I haven't done anything complex with it yet, but I just love that it feels like such a to-do to have Photoshop installed if you just want to crop a photo or add half of a photo on top of the other half of a different photo or something really quick like that.
Yeah, there's nothing I will ever need Photoshop for that makes having Photoshop worth it. Everything that I do is too heavy to do in some dumb program, but also not enough to be worth getting Photoshop, which is a pain in the ass to pirate.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting involved in paying Adobe for anything.
It immediately has all of the probably the bells and whistles of Photoshop that you're looking for, which is it has layers, it has a history readout.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a gradient tool.
Yeah. Okay, Kylie, so here's what I've done. Here's what I've done since you last saw.
Oh, you should screen share with me so that I can see what you've done.
Good point. I found a boss in a cave and I beat that boss.
Sick.
That's it.
That's a great thing to do to a boss. I'm so glad that even without my expert guidance, you've been able to continue making your way through the game. You saw a boss and you fought it. That's exactly what you want to do to a boss.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
loving the instincts that you're showing here.
Good instincts, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and hello everyone in the stream. I can see that there's 23 of you. That's enough for me to feel comfortable moving forward with this. And here you can see that I am basically in the same place that we left off. Actually, we left off down there.
You really are in that same ass place.
So it's not actually true, because I did make it through this. This I did. I believe I did this on my own. This is one of the things I did on my own. There's this thing here. Spoilers for Kylie, I guess. But
it's far too late for that.
Yeah, there's this path here, and this was annoying. Look at these guys. There's guys here. There's some guys there. There's more guys, and then there's like a ballista.
Dead now, though.
Yeah, there's a ballista up there that shoots exploding rounds, and so there's some helpful signs that say, hey, you should stealth around this, but it is not so helpful that it says that this place is also filled with guys, archer guys.
Okay.
And there's a boss. There's a boss in here.
Are we on Twitch or YouTube or both?
We're on Twitch. We're on Twitch. I don't know how many runes I have. Not nothing. I don't have nothing for runes. So let's go somewhere else. Hey, want to see how broken magic is?
Sure. Nice.
I want to switch spells.
Yeah, see, my character doesn't have this magic yet. And I'm definitely feeling like that was not the correct move to make here.
Yeah, it just kills all these guys.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how this magic is just killing these guys.
Yeah, it's just killing them.
Yeah.
It's killing them to the point where it's not even that fun to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I did just kind of do a similar character in Demon Souls last year.
Ooh, that didn't work. So I haven't played in a few days now, so I'm like...
You suck now. There you go.
Yeah, I suck now. I learned about guard countering, which is something that I like didn't do during the tutorial. Like the tutorial was like, "Hey, guard counter this guy," and I just killed him normal.
I think I told you about it on our last stream together, but
You did. You were like, "Hey, they want you to guard counter this guy."
Well, you were taking on a lot at that time.
I just remember you being like, "Hey, they want you to guard counter this guy," and then I didn't, and then you were like, "Oh, well, you didn't kill him the right way, but I guess it's fine." And then it was 6 hours before I realized that I had missed that part of the game. So let's figure out let's go somewhere else.
Do you have... I'm sure the answer is no, but do you have a handle on what the structure of this game even is at this point?
Yes, it is run in a direction until you find a boss that you can't beat, and then go somewhere else.
Right. Okay.
So there's two things here. So I think that there's definitely some FromSoft like trial and error boss wise, right, where they want you to like try and fail.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's almost part of it. Like, it is kind of, they do kind of expect you to die your first time.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No.
But.
So, but the thing is, like, I think that because it's so open. Are you noticing that my audio is desynced?
I wasn't looking super closely.
Maybe
at that
it's
moment,
it's actually fine. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Weird. Okay, so weirdly, as you were saying that, I was adjusting the game volume on my end, so maybe that's why. Maybe like I was doing something and like
I'm just super concerned about it because I had uploaded a version of this And oh, this guy sucks, by the way. That's the guy that killed me.
Oh yeah.
Before.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and that guy have met.
God, he really just takes.
I think it's his shield.
Oh,
right?
Check this out though. I forgot about this. Oh no, my wolves. Oh, no wolves.
Oh no, you got no wolves. Ooh. Oh, he really wants to stick you with that.
He does. He does want to stick me. And then
you need a hardier shield. My character started with a shield that absorbs all the damage, which seems good.
I hate this guy. This guy's not my friend.
Oh, I love this guy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm always chatting with this guy. He's really nice if you just get to know his interests and, you know, show a little interest in him.
Oh. It seems like he's interested in getting me.
Yeah, most of his interests are killing people. That is true.
Ooh. Got him.
All right. Well,
look at that.
So are bloodstains working yet?
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, they've been working for a little while. But that is a blood stain, not a blood stain.
Wait. You were in a blood stain. It was said press Y to show blood stain.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. But I mean, we know what happened. The guy got killed by that knight.
Yeah. Oh, but it could have been someone who remember this guy?
Oh, I remember that guy.
It could be someone that lured that guy.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah,
when I did that section with what you said of just like, oh, you were just supposed to run through here with the horse and not fight that guy. And yeah, that was way easier to do than fighting him.
Yeah. So what I was saying was obviously the game is built for you to see a boss and make the call. Do I want to trial and error this, or do I want to go somewhere else and see if there's something less difficult, right? And so that first boss that we haven't seen, that I just told you lived. That seems to be a go somewhere else boss. It's a there's no hope here right now for you, boss. So I've been doing that. I've been going elsewhere.
That's interesting.
It's the second one in a row because the first one that you see, the first boss that you see, the guy on the horse, is also a don't fuck with this boss.
Are we sure about this? Because sometimes those bosses, they just seem so tough at first blush.
No, I'm like level 20 and I still can't get that guy. The horse guy. I believe that right now I could get Margit, though. I still don't
I want to see more horizontal dodge rolls against these spear guys.
Okay. Ooh. Like that?
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's even better than what I said.
Oh, you said horizontal, and I did. Ooh, message. Did you see that? I got a message appraisal. His thing took too long. I got all my health back because I got my message appraisal.
You know what? That move you did where you rolled behind him, that'll be way easier to do if you unlock from him.
Oh.
Nice.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oop, and then I was hoisted by that unlock petard. 100 Pigeon says, I do have at least one friend who hurled himself against each boss he met until they were defeated. Couldn't be me. So people who watched that stream will know that was my intent with Margit, but Allie, who was guesting on the stream, and even more importantly and rudely, everyone watching it was saying, no, I don't want that to be what you're doing. So So we didn't do that. Hey, look, this is definitely an illusory wall.
I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I think that's on them.
I agree. I think that that shows an innate cowardice,
weakness.
Yeah. But I think like
now, of course,
that's what Sekiro trains you to want to just.
I was gonna say I did quit playing Sekiro because the bosses were too hard, but hey.
Yeah. But I think that Sekiro sort of trains that into you. I don't know how much the other
to just take on the bosses because there is really no leveling system.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know how much of a sense you have for this at this point, but I always found like the leveling in these Souls type games to be like, wait, where did this? Oh, that was the horse's health.
Yeah, it was the horse's health.
I always feel like obviously your character's definitely getting stronger, but like one level is so slight in one of these games that it's like getting better at killing the boss is always going to be a more effective strategy than trying to grind.
Yeah, that's sort of like what I was feeling. Ooh. Ooh. He turned red. That's bad, right?
I didn't see.
He screamed and he had sort of like a bloodlust.
Oh, bloodlust. Yeah, that's bad. You don't want them to have bloodlust.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed obvious.
Hey guys, if you're fighting an enemy and they have bloodlust, that's not good.
That ghost legitimately scared me. What is this?
That was
Is this a friendly wolf? Or are all of the other wolves bad except that one? I don't know. Okay.
Have you done any cooperation? Have you summoned anybody?
I have not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not big into that of doing that, but it's it can be fun.
Oh God, the timings are so rough.
Oh, whoa!
Oh, I'm crouched.
Wow. Esports.
Yeah, esports for sure. Oh. That was rough. I mean,
You made it. Oh, we sort of.
What?
Oh no, have you angered the Thunder God?
I guess I have.
Oh yeah, if you come to this one area when you're level 20 or higher, it angers the Thunder God, and then he rains bolts down upon you. We all know.
That's sure what it seems like happened.
You can basically just make up anything about a FromSoft game at this point, and it could be true. Now, of course, if you have the pincushion doll that you get from the Lonely Lost Girl earlier, then that pleases the Thunder God, and instead he sends helpful bolts to heal you.
Oh, well, I think I did do that.
Have you been leaving a lot of messages, or just
yeah, I've been trying to leave more. I've been trying to leave more messages. I want to know what is going on here. Like, I just found... Oh. What is that?
Now, are these bolts leaving behind these things? Like, what are they? Run up to those things. Or are they lightning rods? Ooh.
Vulgar Bloom.
That seems like what it's leaving behind. Like,
I think it just is attracted to it.
Let's read the item description.
No.
I hear the item description is where most of the story is in these games.
Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, not me. I don't read the item descriptions.
Vulgar Bloom.
Blooms in lightning struck lands.
Okay, hey. There you go. So I guess it's a combination. What came first, Vulgar Bloom or lightning?
Wow.
Yes.
We might never know. Pretty sure it was the lightning though.
Yeah.
Because these things weren't here when you came in, right?
I think they were. I'm hearing like yelling.
Like I feel like there was 1 or 2, and then 20 more lightning strikes happened, and then there was 20.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna heal up.
I'm surprised you're. I mean, not anything against you because I don't really know the game, but I was just surprised to see that you're still basically in the same location.
That's just from not having played very much, I think. Like, so really, what happened was I left this area and came back to it, you know?
Oh. Okay.
Also, it seems like the game is huge. I definitely saw a tweet that was like, I spent 30 hours in the first biome.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I did. I saw like a tweet from like Jackson from Abnormal Mapping that was like, "There's too much game in Elden Ring."
Yeah. It seems like there is a lot of it for sure. I think also part of it is that I haven't been using my goat.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, it's definitely some sort of goat beast. Look at it.
You know, I feel like what the hell's its name?
Torrent?
Torrent. Yeah, I'm not sure that we can really place. I don't think we should try to shackle it to an earthly animality.
Yeah, this is a purely.
This
is a purely Elden creature.
Yeah, this is an Elden creature. It's got horns. It looks like a horse with horns, or like a mule with horns. It's a mulicorn.
It is a mulicorn. It's the precious mulicorn. Anyway, I'm just practicing horse combat. What's going on with you, Kylie? It is tough.
It's tough, right?
It is tough, yeah.
What's going on with me is
those guys are strong against horses.
I think the horse combat might have been one of the reasons I didn't play much more of this game, was because I was like, that seems really hard. I'm gonna have to get good at it, and who knows how much I'm gonna be doing it. But what's up with me is that I haven't been able to feel interested in Elden Ring because I've been too caught up in playing the original Final Fantasy II.
Yeah, and then what's that like? I mean, that's one of the ones that I've played, but I played that on the iPhone in like 2009 or something.
Wow.
Famously so.
As far as
run buttons concerned, anyway.
Yeah, that's famous.
That's famous for run buttons.
I thought didn't we figure out at some point that you had actually played some kind of like knockoff or something?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that the thing was always, did I play 1 or 2 or maybe even 3?
Gotcha. Well, did it have a typical experience point and leveling system, or did it have a crazy system where you level up each spell and stat individually?
I genuinely have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to say that second thing sounds familiar. Leveling up each thing individually. That doesn't sound. That doesn't sound wrong.
It's kind of the black sheep of the Final Fantasy, because it was just its leveling system was very ambitious, but they just didn't get the refinement that it needed, so it has a lot of weird rough edges where like sometimes the best way to level up your characters is to have your characters attack each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they get a chance to gain HP if they lose a lot of HP in one battle, and the best way to do that is just to attack yourself.
That's bizarre. So you can go fight. You can go fight like a low-level enemy.
Yeah.
And then instead of being threatened by the enemy, just like kick the shit out of yourself and then go to like a Pokemon Center. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've found it to be way more fun and playable than people make it sound. You know, people talk about it like it's this unplayable mess of a game.
2.
It's not really that.
2. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember part of the reason why you never believed that I beat it on my iPhone was that people say it's such an unplayable mess and also really hard.
Well, definitely the iOS version would have been a more modernized version. They've made it much more balanced and playable over time. And I actually, before I played the original, I was playing the Pixel remaster, which I definitely enjoyed. But it started feeling really easy, and of course I was curious about the original version anyway, so I went and tried that. Though, like, honestly, I like going back to the original also made me like the Pixel remaster even more, because I was like, oh, this was actually a good version of that game.
That's cool. That's good.
Other than the fucking text.
Ooh, I got an Ash of War.
Crap. Determination. Now, what is that? What does this do?
I don't know. Let's see.
I still have no clue what Ashes of War are.
It's a really
other than
stupid
the
way
latest
of saying
hot
that it's
free-to-play game on the App Store.
It's a skill that you can attach to weapons. Oh. Don't pause or the horseman will get you. I hate that. Sorry, this guy just showed up.
So, when am I gonna get to see you fight the guy on the horse?
This guy is on a horse.
This isn't the guy on the horse, though. That's a guy on a horse. I want the guy on the horse.
Ooh, no! Ooh. That was 3 attacks. I thought it was only going to be 1.
Big oof. Big oof.
Big oof, more like.
Ooh.
That's what I feel like right now.
Yeah. I think big oafs are doing big oofs a lot.
There's no way that I can get that guy on that horse.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I heard someone say that that's like a level 70 boss.
Oh.
No. Like it's not like Margit where it seems like they want you to
Oh, I thought Margit was the thing on the horse.
No, that is the like tree guardian or something like that. I don't really know. Okay, I got my stuff back. And then I can kill these guys, no problem. See, that wasn't even an issue. And where does that horse guy come from? Is it that guy? No, I killed that guy. I think I can level up again. I think I realized that I was listening to too many different people tell me like what to do with like my leveling, and
right. And now it's like, what do you do?
Right. What I should have been doing is paying attention to that. That boss can kill me in one hit, and I should be leveling up my vigor.
Oh, maybe.
Was it 9, which is low? Feels like, right?
Yeah. Well,
if I'm doing intelligence
but
decks.
you started as an astrologer, so that's like a low vitality class for sure, right?
Yeah, but it's such a small arena. No!
Oh! Oh! Whoa.
There's something hanging up there. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's a body. Hanging in the usual fashion.
No, it looks like a bat creature. You don't think that looked like an evil bat creature?
Well, I saw it so briefly.
I want, if you go to the chat, what are they saying?
Great question. Sorry, I thought it was more important to try to start the stream by being in the moment of what
I love
we
that.
were doing.
No, I love that.
Because I'm being serious. But, you know, if anyone says anything in the chat now, I'll definitely see it.
Yeah, good. I didn't even want to know from before. You know? Like, it wasn't really important to me.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I tried to look at the chat a couple times, and I was just like, it's not gonna work.
Audast says, you start off with Squishy in the game, you should definitely put some into Vigor.
If I start off what?
Squishy.
Oh, okay.
But maybe Int is more important now, just for those weapon wrecks.
My Int is high. My Int is the high. Look at this. Look at this gift.
Yeah.
I was just left a gift by this game.
Oh.
Do you see? My runes were sitting atop the bridge and not underneath it.
Yeah, I think that'll happen if you die in a place that's just like a death zone.
No, there was enemies down there. There was like game down there.
Okay. Ooh.
I could beat this guy with my sword.
Kylie, will you play the FF6 Pixel Remaster? I assume you're asking me because you want to know if it's good without paying money for it. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be doing that.
And why not?
I think the Pixel remasters are nice, but I'm just, you know, I'm an original head. I just need to play the original one.
Yeah, you're a classic original head. Come on,
but those Pixel remasters definitely seem like the best versions of those games in like a long time.
Yeah.
Like,
and there are some changes, but some of them are optional.
Wait, so right,
there's some changes they need to make, but some of the changes are optional. So,
by next update, I want to see Red Crystal in Party Member 2's
It's so
hand.
funny. I couldn't
app updated, but I'm still not. Sorry,
I couldn't tweet this because it's just too complicated of an emotion to tweet. But, ooh, that was close. See that? That was a smithing stone. That was important.
I did not see.
The idea that he would include which of his suggestions were optional, as if the person reading that was going to like use it.
Them as
you'd be like, okay, I know that this is a big ask, but he did say some of it was optional. These butterflies seem important, right? Yeah, they are.
Okay, so this was a user review for the Final Fantasy I Pixel Remaster that I retweeted. It's from the iOS App Store.
Uh-oh.
3 out of 5 stars. Updated app game, but I'm still not satisfied. Please move the world map a little. Please move the world map a little to the right so that the left part of the northwestern continent will no longer sticks out from the upper right edge of the world map. I want to see character 1 at the top left bed, character 2 at the top right bed, character 3 at the bottom left bed, and character 4 at the bottom right bed instead of the resting sequence at the end. Match White Mage's hair and White Wizard's hair in the exact same hair color. Rename Master Class to Super Monk Class, optional. Rename Null Spells Life and Full Life to Bar Spells Raise and Arise because these current translations for spells are getting too old since recent FF games, and I don't want to see any more of these old translations every remake and remaster. Rename Invis and Proterra to Invisible and Protectra if there is enough room.
Yes.
Rename Dark to Darkness.
Yes.
Optional.
Yes. For me, that one's not optional.
To rename Dark to Darkness. I agree.
Yeah, that's not optional.
By next update, I want character 2 to hold the fire crystal and character 3 to hold the wind crystal instead when speaking with the king at Castle Cornelia in the beginning of the game like they usually do from each remake.
Ooh, gold pickled Foulfoot. Now, hey, is that one listed as optional or no? Are you seeing this, by the way? Look at these two guys.
No, that's the one he wants to see. They want to see that.
Well, but he also wants to see some of the other stuff, but it's obviously
right.
Optional.
Yeah. So this is reading this really gave me an insight into what a monumental task it is to make something like a Final Fantasy remaster, because there's just so many people that want so many things from so many different angles. This person's main crux, like I will parse this for you. Basically what they're saying is that this remake is out of line with recent other Final Fantasy 1 remakes, and they want to see a continuity through each remake.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Pixel remasters for them is that the Pixel remasters seek to just go straight back to the NES original and remake that without any intermediary steps.
Right.
And this is like a big problem.
They've abandoned the remake narrative continuity.
Right. They've gone back to when a monk evolves into their evolved class, they've gone back to calling that a master rather than a super monk. And that's bullshit because they changed master to super monk before,
right.
And obviously this is what we all
stop
love.
you there? And I do want you to finish that thought, but we don't even have to explain why it's bullshit. Right, it's obvious on its face why it's bullshit.
Obviously, it makes no sense for a evolved monk to be called a master. They should be called a super monk.
Yeah, it just obviously describes better what it is.
Yeah. It just takes me out of the experience to see that the higher version spell of protect is called Protera instead of Protectra.
Protera, what do you to protere? Is that what it does? Like, I don't even understand what it does.
What is it doing? Dark what? What is dark? What am I dark? Now darkness. That makes sense.
Yeah, you darkness.
Yeah, darkness. Duh. Darkness. Uh, 100 Pigeon says the classic conflict between original heads and remaster heads. It's true.
They're called remaestros.
JV645. Why did they mess with the sleeping arrangements?
They're called remaestros.
Remaestros? Oh my god.
This guy's just surrendering. It's really sad. I guess he's not really surrendering. This is bizarre.
They don't even have a harness for him. They just stake him through the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up, right?
Just hang back and hit him with the magic, right?
I'm low on magic, and this is not really... Okay. This is not really affecting me. I mean, I guess I can do some magic
now. For the record, I think I think Master is the obvious better term than Super Monk. Why would you want a class called Super Monk? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Ooh, a great axe. Can't use that, but it's cool, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Good job, Simon.
Wrong thing. That's okay. What I want to do is find a new. If you see, I'm in newish territory. Like, I know that I have this on the map, but I haven't actually been here. And so I want to find a, what are they called? Site of Grace.
Site of Grace. Oh, bonfire.
Yeah, I want to find a bonfire.
I want to find a bonfire.
I want to find a, monk statue, whatever you want to.
Sure.
Whatever of the same thing.
JV is asking if I'm gonna play the original FF6, and yeah, that's my plan. I'm either gonna do, I think, like the original English translation on Super Nintendo, or there's actually a ROM hack called Woolsey. I think it's called Woolsey Unleashed, which is like basically trying to stay true to the Ted Woolsey translation, but fixing any problems and like having like an increased character count or something. And that sounds pretty cool.
Character count.
Yeah, I mean, this was a huge problem for like all Japanese to English game translations, is that Japanese just uses fewer characters. So when you try to take a bit of dialogue in a Japanese game and change it to English, you run into a hard character limit where there's just not enough space for the words.
Fair.
And so the translations of early Final Fantasy games and other RPGs had like truncated. It almost like accidentally became like these baby versions where it's like truncated dialogue. So it's like all the ideas being expressed have to be shorter. Woolsey Reloaded, someone these.
Oh my god, look at that.
Says. Nice.
Oh.
Can you fuck that? Whoa! Okay, don't fuck that.
Yeah, it said no. There's like a lot of now this game is hard to look at, you know?
I don't know if I know, but I feel like you might be onto something. They're just busy.
They're just kind of blurry.
Yeah. Things are just sort of unclear.
Was that goat rolling? Oh, what's going on in the chat? Is anybody trying to tell me where there's a site of grace?
Nope.
Okay.
No, just JV saying, you laugh at that reviewer, but academics dealing with lit across culture basically got tenure for that attention to detail. That's what we got from the chat.
But that was a comment on like the App Store.
Yeah, that was a comment about an App Store review, not about where the sites of grace are. That's why I didn't originally say it until you asked. Odesk says there's one ahead along the road, I think.
But there's a lot of bad guys, and I'm out of spell juice.
There is actually a site of grace inside the ruins with that flower.
With the flower is concerning.
Yeah, with the flower sounds dangerous. And you don't have the magic to...
Yeah, I'm out of magic.
But if you find a group of enemies that you take out, you can get your flask.
Like these
back?
guys. Yeah, I can take these guys out.
Are you sure? Your health looks
Yeah, these guys are nothing.
A tad low. Oh, that was your magic. Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah, my health is fine.
Okay. Synth Choir adds to the comment about the ruins with the flower, says this isn't a prank, but then Odesk says this is a prank. Which one's a prank? Is it a prank? Is saying that it is a prank the prank?
Oh no. What? Was that magic? Did I get magicked? So that didn't actually get me back my stuff.
Huh. Maybe there's another enemy that you missed.
Maybe.
Like that sheep.
It wasn't the sheep.
Huh, it wasn't the sheep.
Maybe they just weren't good enough of enemies.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I've got a lot of runes. I don't want to lose like 2 levels worth of runes. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't see...
They should have called Woolsey Reloaded Woolsey Unleashed.
I don't doubt that there's a site of grace in there.
But
yeah, someone said just
presumably
teleport
it's not-
back, and yeah, that's what
it's
I'm
not
just trying to
available to
avoid
you.
teleporting back. Because I'm so far away from my nearest one.
Maybe, I mean, just try. That's the flower. It seems very avoidable now that we're getting another look at it, right? Like maybe just
Look at
oh, that's on it. Flashbacks to Prism the Dark Unicorn.
yeah.
Do you remember any of those horrible fucking flowers?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just teleport back. It's fine. I'll teleport all the way to here. So Kylie, you said that you just finished the next episode.
No.
Is the next episode of Metal Gear Solid 2 up, or is it going up, or what's the deal?
It's
up for patrons if you want to go to contentburger.biz.
It's up for patrons, and for everyone else, I basically just have to click the button.
Is it? Did you split it, or is it the big one?
It's the big one.
Okay. Did you see the result of our poll?
I did. Did you see the results of our comments on the poll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kylie and I had a discussion, so feel free to chime in the comments of this in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
Also, but they had
Full
uploaded,
context, please.
They had uploaded. I'll give the full context. They had uploaded for patrons a 3-hour and 10-minute long Metal Gear finale.
Oh, I shortened it.
Oh, you did?
From 3 hours and 11 minutes. Once I fixed the mistake that was added 2 minutes onto it, it was only 3 hours and 9 minutes.
Okay, so 3-hour and 9-minute long. And if you notice, I said 3-hour and 10-minute, which is sort of the average, so that really works.
That's true.
Someone told me to put my intelligence up. My intelligence is pretty high already. It's 21.
Okay,
so.
here's what happened. Keith and I recorded the end of Metal Gear Solid 3 months ago at the beginning of December, and then I basically am too lazy and depressed to do work, and so I didn't edit it until now. And so because there was only 3 hours left, and we did it all in one chunk, and since people had to wait so long to get that last 3 hours, that I decided to just put it all as one video, a 3-hour video.
But the important part is that we had a discussion about it, where my feeling is that is too long for a video, and people will just consciously and subconsciously choose not to watch it because it's too long, and you have to be, in the right, literally the right, the right state of mind and also the right state of being to start a 3-hour long video.
Sure.
Kylie was like, people like long videos and they'll come back to it later if they don't finish it.
Yeah, I just feel like a Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough, at least ours, is 12 hours long or something.
Right.
And so if they've already watched the first 9 hours,
yeah.
they've decided they're watching the playthrough, and I don't really think that how the last 3 hours are distributed to them is really going to make a big difference. I'm not trying to go around making all our videos 3 hours long, but I don't think anyone was going to get upset about it this time.
No. But since it wasn't out yet, my point was just that I think people prefer shorter videos. And again, all of our videos are long. We have some of the longest Let's Plays out there in terms of length of individual videos.
You think so?
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I think it's true.
It's weird because people are constantly doing multi-hour game streams that come out as videos.
Right.
But the people that call it a Let's Play and divide it up into episode 1, episode 2, episode 3 do tend to do 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and so we're closer to like a 45-minute to an hour 15, maybe more like a half. We fluctuate pretty wildly, I think, but we have pretty long videos. So I was just like, look, we know that people like hour-long videos. Why don't we just get 3 videos out of this?
Well, but it's because
I said 2, to be fair.
I was in this situation. I was specifically trying to not do that. Was like, I didn't want somebody to be like, wow, they waited 3 months to put this out and they're still gonna chop it up and not give me the whole thing. And I wanted to be like, no, I'm just gonna give you the whole thing.
To be fair, I did want it in 2 parts, 2 90-minute chunks, 95-minute chunks, which I think is reasonable. Again, it's not like it's not out of a desire to like make YouTube ad money. We don't make YouTube ad money because all our money comes from contentburger.biz, the Run Button Patreon. If you want to support the show, you go to contentburger.biz to do that. Oh, I knew there was another guy. But I just in terms of like making things easier to watch for people, that's just what I believe. But it's not a big deal. Whatever you want to do is fine.
Steak of America. Why?
I saw a really funny tweet. I can't remember who tweeted it, but it was two tweets. Oh, it was Scott Benson, I believe. Tweeted, people just want to talk about steaks of America, not the state of America, which I thought was really funny. and then then retweeted a comment that was like people want to talk about sites of grace. I can't do it verbatim, but it was like a saying grace joke. But it was pretty funny. Magic is so easy. I saw people. Okay. So everyone,
this is like Magic's grand return, right?
Yeah. I did hear about it.
People that loved the Demon Souls magic are finally getting the Demon Souls magic back.
So I know that FromSoft like discourse is like insane all the time. Like it's always insane. It's like it's super annoying. Like people talking about FromSoft games and like
shields are back. Keith.
Shields are back. Magic's back. People talking about FromSoft games drive me crazy, for lots of reasons. Whether I agree or disagree with any particular thing. But I was seeing people being like, Magic isn't easy mode. Like Magic isn't illegitimate. It's the way that you play the game. Don't be mean to people that are using Magic. Yeah. And meanwhile, this is like really. I played Sekiro, but this is really like my first like Dark Souls FromSoft game, and I'm doing the Magic, and I'm like, I don't know. I think I deserve some shit for this. Like this is not the same.
No, but it also, if this is anything like Demon Souls, you won't be able to rely on that being so egregiously powerful for the whole game. Like eventually the monsters will just get too strong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very funny. I was like, I don't know.
It is honestly, it is a little bit easy mode, but I'm certainly not going to get on anyone's case about using it.
Yes, people should not be mean to people using Magic. Magic is in the game. I'm having fun with the Magic, even when I'm like wishing that I was having a little bit more of a challenge. I think.
Yeah. And if you want to not, you don't have to play. You don't have to use the Magic, and you don't even have to play. You could go play a different FromSoft game. That just
yeah. There's
Magic.
One for everyone. It turns out.
Yeah. There's now a Kingsfield game for everyone.
Someone convinced me to put a point in Arcane. I'm regretting that.
What is that?
It is like your drop rate.
I
guess it also helps your defense. and your vitality.
Yeah, there are people that are all into drop rate, and I don't know that I've ever really focused on it in maybe any game.
I'm gonna partially outsource this to the chat. Chat, what do you think? I'm between mind, I believe, mind and vigor. Get a little bit more FP and get a little bit more HP.
Vigor doesn't seem bad.
Everyone's saying vigor. Everyone's saying vigor. Because I started at 9, so I just basically on stream leveled up vigor 3 times for the first 3 times, and now we're gonna do
more
Margit.
People chiming in on the vigor point than anything else thus far.
Yeah, people are wanting to watch the Elden Ring streams.
They want vigorous Elden Ring.
Check this out. Look at these wolves.
Oh, who the fuck's this guy? Oh,
this is Margit. He's bad.
Omen. I don't know. This guy looks pretty sick, actually. Oh, you've got wolves. I had seen it, but now I really see it.
Oh, he got me. Yeah, you didn't hear me say I got wolves?
Is it a spell, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a spell. That thing has been hitting me in one...
Oh!
Come on, last wolf.
Wow. What a wolf.
Ooh. No!
Oh! Oh! Yes!
No.
You got it. Oh!
This guy's tough. This is a tough boss.
Yeah. Pretty cool boss. I'd fight that boss.
You'd fight that boss?
I'd fight that boss.
So, the thing about Margit, I don't know if you noticed, but Margit's like pacing is really weird. It's super weird.
Yeah, those throwing knives are rough.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really weirdly timed stuff, you know?
Is this just forever wolves? You just can always do this?
No, there's like zones. There's zones where I can do wolves.
Oh, is it like the same places where you can summon like players?
No, it's more generous than that.
Heal. Oh no. Heal.
Yeah. Not yet. Almost though.
Oh, these knives. Wow, hold.
Okay, serious time. Oof. That knife is so rough. It's just fast enough to get me when I try to drink. That was like a. If I had been able to get that health down, I would have won.
Odask asks, have you tried summoning Rogier?
Oh yeah, there's a guy that I can summon to help me with this fight. I'm just choosing not to.
Gotcha.
I have not yet summoned him, because if I summon him, I know that I can win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I noticed you weren't doing any physical attacks.
Correct.
any reason.
The magic does more damage.
Wolf boys!
Ooh. That's the first time he's got me with one of those.
Tarnish.
Here, let's try some let's try some Ooh. That's such a tough one.
No more flask. Oh.
Oh. He got my wolves a lot faster than usual that time.
Wait, JV says, I noticed they are called lone wolves, but there are 3 of them working together.
Yes, 3 lone wolves. What's the question?
So stupid. Why would they be called that?
Maybe they can't see each other.
What if you try to do like a ton of damage up front and then do the wolves at the end?
Smart.
Froghouse says that's how police describe every right-wing militia. 3 lone wolves working together.
Wow, I don't know how to avoid that one.
Since you're only doing ranged magic, when he jumps up in the air with that hammer, you can try going backward. Yeah, like that.
I kept pressing the wrong button for that. Okay, there we go.
Wolf boys, go!
Sorry, since I'm only using range magic, I can do what?
Oh, never mind.
See, I don't know how to... God, I got swamped in those 3 big jumps. Anyway, I think that that's not a bad strategy. Obviously, it didn't help because I kept hitting the wrong button to summon the wolves.
Oh.
I kept holding Y and pulling the trigger instead of holding Y and pushing down, and I was like, why am I not summoning wolves?
Yeah. The thing I was saying is that, you know, when he does the big jump in the air with the hammer and then brings it down?
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of times you roll into it to avoid it, but since you're doing ranged magic, I think it makes more sense to roll back.
It has a splash going backwards, and I found that it is more... it's easier to get him with, or not get hit if you go towards him. Ooh, that's cool. Except for that time, obviously.
Does he not take the hammer out until like halfway?
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Ah!
that's a first.
Rip.
Yeah. I actually haven't done that.
drop scarabs.
Oh, great.
That tail's gotta be weak to something, to slashing, right?
The tail? No, I don't
you get
think
like
so.
a sweet reward for cutting off the tail.
Oh, couldn't see him. No. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, there we go.
Time of death 1128.
Look at him go. Bye. Bye, idiot.
Great enemy fell.
Contentburger.biz. This guy's chatty when he's dead.
Well, I could even tell it seemed like that wasn't going to be the last time you fought him, right?
You think so?
I don't know. I just got that sense for some reason, which is strange because I don't know if I've ever seen a From boss that you fight twice, but he seemed very story involved.
He did. He had like a cutscene when you showed up there too. Like he talked to you. I don't remember what he said.
He said like warrior blood must run in your veins. He said, I hate these wolves.
Oh, sorry. I meant, I don't remember what he said when you first showed up. He basically was like, Tarnished, do you wish to test your might? Or something like that. Oh, yeah. Sith Choir says there's a guy you fight a couple times in Sekiro and it kicks ass. There's actually a few people you fight a couple times in Sekiro. Almost got 3 levels from that guy.
Nice.
Is that normal for a From boss, or is that like a heavy prize?
It does seem normal to me. This is on PC.
Yeah, this is PC. I know that there's been PC troubles. Is that another side of grace for real? Sadness.
Yeah.
Visions of confidence.
Yeah, PC is the one that's been having trouble. Supposedly on PS5, it's like just great, I guess. I haven't heard any technical complaints about that version.
I've had a couple slowdown issues, like not seemingly for no reason. Like I will just like all of a sudden get a slowdown issue. Didn't expect item. I
didn't expect item.
Fire grease. Yeah, all those other signs telling me to come over here made me expect this item. Ooh.
Oh my God, Lakeith V2. I didn't know there was a second Keith. They've updated Keith to Lakeith
Oh
V2.
no. I'm obsolete.
Yeah, he says, yeah, PS5 has been smooth for me. Don't worry. They might be like a Square Enix remaster. Like, they might need like 5 more versions to even come close to the original.
Okay. Phew. I feel good. I feel good about that excuse. I'll take it. Yeah, like right there was just like a little random slowdown. Like, it's not enough to bug me, but it is enough to be like, why is it doing that?
Mad Hatta BG says, LMAO, I won the Sony raffle to buy a PS5, but I don't get paid till Tuesday. At first I was like, why does it matter when you get paid? You won a raffle. And then I was like, oh, it's just a raffle to buy one. Bummer.
That's so grim. That's really grim. Use fur calling finger remedy to reveal summon signs of players from other worlds. Gold signs indicate an ally. Red signs indicate an adversary. And I actually believe that there's an item in the game to let you reverse that. You can be an enemy that appears as like a yellow sign if you have like this item. I don't know. Maybe I misread something that I saw. Dastardly. Classic FromSoft dastardliness.
Sorry, could you run the dastardliness by me again?
There's an item that reveals summon signs, and red summon signs are PvP, and yellow summon signs are co-op. But I believe that there's an item that lets you put your make your PvP sign appear as yellow.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
Like, if that's something that a person can spend a lot of time trying to do like once, that's awesome. If that's something that people are going to be doing constantly to the point where you don't want to even try to summon a co-op person because you think it's just going to be an enemy, that might suck.
Yeah.
But it is devious. You're right. That's even more dastardliness than is typical of a FromSoft.
You think so?
Oh, well, I guess not, because a lot of those games just have straight up invasion where people just be like, "What up? I'm here to kill you."
Yeah.
You didn't ask for this.
You didn't ask for this. Well, you asked for this by being human instead of a skeleton.
Right, a skeleton. A hollowed. Skeleton.
That's not me. That's from
I know. But like, kind of a lot of people do that now, though, and that's
yes, but it is absolutely from Hollywood Handbook.
It is.
I just it's a stream, so we don't know if we just got some random people in here wanted to watch Elden Ring.
Come over here, would you?
Don't go near that guy.
Didn't expect friend.
Don't
I
go
also
near
did
that
not expect that.
Don't go near that guy.
You think so?
No. Just kidding.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I would
What's it to you?
He's tall.
The main gate into the castle.
How can they? What does it mean?
It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. Oh, try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected.
Guards hate this one weird trick.
Yes, that's the spirit. You're just the kind of tarnished that I like. I pray for your success.
I personally don't trust this guy. And actually, I had this spoiled for me. I know exactly what happens.
Oh, is this an untrustworthy individual?
In a sense.
Yeah. We still don't know what... Do we even have an idea of what tarnished means?
Yeah, it means it's this game's version of Hollow. It's just that you're some kind of special thing.
Well, but in Hollowed meant that you were like a fucking zombie most of the time. But what does tarnished mean? Like, what does it mean?
It means
for
you
us?
need a maiden.
Okay.
What?
Maybe okay. I guess I just don't get this FromSoft lore thing.
Hey, bring it up with J.R.R. Martin. Yeah, so do you want me to tell you who I think this guy is based on some stuff that I saw?
Yes, but Jake Love says, I think tarnished are those who were abandoned by the Erd Tree but called back to try to fix things, I guess? Oddesk says, as far as I can tell, tarnished are this group of people banished from this land. Yeah, this group of people banished from this land. You used to be sworn to King Arthur, but then King Arthur got exiled / made less cool by God / the Holy Grail, and you got banished with him.
So
I don't know if that's spoilers but
why is it always a hole?
I love this sentence, but then King Arthur got made less cool by God. And could I say God is always trying to do that constantly?
Yeah.
Let King Arthur be cool.
God. I mean, this definitely looks bad. Birdhead. Yeah, confirmed. Did it just take me in a circle? I'm confused.
Bird.
Bird.
Big bird. Large bird.
I don't know where to go.
Bird? Maybe that big bird is something. Have you thought about that?
It seems like it wants me to go down there.
I think you were already down there. That's where you came from. Ooh.
Let's assess. I don't think I came from there. Let's see. Anyway, I saw someone saying that that there was a guy who told you, "Hey, don't go that way. Go this other way." And if you listen to him and you die, he like steals from your
Corpse.
Yeah, he steals runes from your whatever you leave behind.
Corpse?
Corpse. No, in this game you don't leave behind a corpse. You leave behind like a weird sigil.
Oh.
You're just the kind of tarnished that I like.
I don't trust this guy. He looks like
success.
he looks like some sort of. He looks like. I mean, first of all, he looks like what's his name?
Of course, I understand.
Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Not really.
His greasy hair, his like stringy greasy hair. You don't think so?
Yeah. I think that's the only thing, though. Pale skin.
Yeah, pale skin, greasy, stringy hair.
Zeno is basically saying, like, the other tarnished are all the major figures that are mentioned in the intro cutscene, and maybe you're the only one who's, like, a kind of a nobody.
Okay,
so I guess your existence is notable, which is something of a departure from like Dark Souls, because I think like I think there's a lot of hollowed in Dark Souls or something. I forget.
So they are bad. That way is bad.
I see.
One thing I've noticed is that hurts.
Noticing these ballistae.
At least they don't explode.
Jake Love says, I would say that's what you get for not trusting him, to be honest.
Fair.
TBH.
That's fair.
How much longer were you thinking of streaming?
We can be done. Hey, we beat that big boss.
I'd like to. Can I do some?
Yeah, sure. You can do some.
Cool. I'd like to do some.
Do you want to see how it feels to lose to Margit when you're like perfectly leveled for?
I don't know that I'm ready to be completely owned by Margit, but maybe.
Ooh, that looks like a bird of a different sort.
I think it looks like a bird of a same sort.
Think so?
Well, maybe not.
It's got like shackles on it. Look at that.
Pretty similar. Yeah, those are the same.
No, it's different.
Are you? How? I'm not even gonna argue with you on this one.
Okay.
It's silly. It's just silly.
Okay. You don't have to argue with me.
They're so obviously the same. Look at them.
Look at them.
Wow. Almost simultaneously, JV says they are of a feather, and Atelier Zeno says bird of a different sword.
You should allow that message that says asshole. I didn't read it. I just saw that it was blocked.
Oh,
I
didn't see that there was a blocked message. That's weird.
I didn't want to kill that falcon. I do appreciate him.
How do I?
There's just a button that says allow.
Nah, I don't have that.
Okay, it says there's a ton of other Tarnished, I think. That asshole who calls you maidenless at the start of the game is Tarnished too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does also seem kind of bored by you. He's like, oh, another Tarnished.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we're just a new kind of guy.
Yeah, so it is the same. It is very funny to like have like a celebrity author work on a game with you, and for
it's got knife feet.
So completely a game that already exists.
Right? Yeah, George R.R. Martin. George Jar Jar Artin. It is funny that like if you take at his word and at From's word that he like wrote the story of this game, it's very funny that his story just ripped off Dark Souls. Death Ahead. Okay.
Garrulous Monolith says, yeah, most of the U-sized NPCs you meet are tarnished. You're a little special because you're a tarnished who can still see the critical path lines from the grace sites. Wow. Don't we feel special now?
Yeah. I mean, what would I do without those critical path lines?
Yeah.
Hey, look, a new site of grace. I think I can level up one more time, and then I can close it down, and then you can bring that stream back up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll launch the thing.
So anybody in the chat now, the stream is going to go down. It's going to come right back up.
It's going to come right back up.
Oh, I don't have quite enough to level up. I remember it used to be easy to level up. I guess I'm not going to have to worry about that guy stealing my stuff. Oh, maybe I am now.
Fucking vuvuzelas, I swear to God.
This guy's got a vuvuzela.
I'm just trying to enjoy some football over here.
Ooh, I maybe got a better shield finally. Let's see.
People slightly younger than us probably don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. It's like a long time ago.
People know about vuvuzelas. Oof. That's bad. Kylie, I need a lighter load. There we go. Look at my sword now.
You'll get to have a look of what Elden Ring looks like when you're not playing on baby magic mode. And instead you're playing as armor baby mode.
Armor baby mode. Okay. So we did the 2 different easy modes?
Yeah, I think so. Though I did start with a fat roll, and there's nothing easy mode about fat roll.
Yeah, I just needed to get myself out of fat roll mode.
Tarnished is a typo, by the way. They meant famished because you're all hungry. Is that anything?
No, it's not.
It's not anything.
That's not anything. I thought about it. It's not.
Sorry, Jay.
Okay, so I can't get to I picked up all this stuff. I don't even know what this stuff does.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit. You better, oh, it auto-saves. Okay. As I was launching the game, it was like, I forgot you're playing my Steam copy of this game. And so as I think, like, you're about to get kicked out or something. Or maybe it gives you, like, a 5-minute grace period.
It's like 2 minutes, yeah. Alright, mined 20. But I should try and leave or it'll yell at me.
Mind your manners. More like...
System. Quit game. There we go. 7 hours and 20 minutes worth of Elden Ring from yours truly.
Wow. It's almost too much.
It's almost, and I'm feeling like I'm close to done.
Yeah, I think you're rounding the corner.
I'm rounding the corner. Yeah, I think
yeah.
I'm. Yeah, okay. I just got a thing that says that I have 4 minutes of playtime remaining. Luckily, I don't need it.
Oh.
Here's a fun, weird thing that happens with Elden Ring.
What?
When you quit, the main menu music keeps going for 20 seconds.
Oh, I don't think that happens for me.
That's weird. When I quit out, it keeps going. I quit to the menu, right? Because there's only a quit to the menu. There's no quit to desktop option.
Test.
Okay, I'm going to stop streaming and stop recording. People in the chat, stick around.
I'm going to hit the button right now. It shouldn't be almost any time at all.
I'm going to get myself a drink.
Oh, okay. Well, Keith's going to be gone then.
No, I can stay for I don't know. What do you think is better? Do you think it's better to just wait a minute to start or
I don't know.
Okay, bye.